The diameter of that is 10 inches.
That's slope.
That's about 10 inches as well.
The slope was 10 inches.
That is a beautiful starfish. That was on the beach maybe February, and it's huge. It's honestly, it's about 10 inches across that. And what was really cool is you see these yellow things here? They were wriggling about, and they may be like an inch long, and they were really, this is the underside of a starfish. Now, you don't often see these things, so obviously I'm going to take lots of pictures of it. So I thought, I'll take these pictures of it, and then when I'm finished, I will throw it in the ocean. And then I found 2 more. I don't know what was going on in the world that day, but Fort Lauderdale Beach had these beautiful, huge starfish, maybe about every 500 yards or so. And I know that some people would take it home and dry it out and put it in your, they're so beautiful. But I threw it into the ocean like a frisbee. I didn't want to leave it. But it's such a beautiful thing. And what's nice about practicing with a phone is I'm walking along in my shorts and t-shirts and I can just get right down there. I tend to take the pictures quite low down because I like to show the ocean behind, as you can see there. And I don't ever take pictures of the beach with buildings. I'm not really interested in the buildings. I like to see the creatures, and I like to see the way that the light early on. You can see there's a sunrise. And I just like the way that the beach is at that hour. Lots of gold light. And here's another look at the starfish. And I tend to try and take different ways of taking it. And what I'd recommend you, if you want to learn more about taking pictures with cell phones, is practice and choose something small that you see every day. Like I say, it could be a dog, it could be a kid brother, it could be a flower in the garden. But take different pictures of it at different times of day and just see, that's a starfish footprint. I thought I'd pick it up, and that's what was underneath. So I thought, that's pretty cool, so I took a picture of that as well. But what I tend to do is I like to show the beach with all its shells, and I like to show the shells. I like happy shells, and for me, happy shells are the ones with water, with the ocean in them. Like there, see the little bubble? It's quite hard, and there's another one. I've only just spotted that. But I like to see the shells just being natural. And I try different ways to take a picture. On the iPhone, there's a toy camera app called Hipstamatic. And Hipstamatic is going to give you, what you're going to get from Hipstamatic. But I tend to think it likes the beach. So I take pictures of things that are on the beach that suit it. So I take all sorts of different kinds of shots like this, beautiful seashells in different ways. And it just makes me feel like I'm sharing the natural world, because sometimes on the beach are bits of coral. That's what that is, and that's what this is. And it's just nice to be able to see them. I mean, these colourful shells, I don't see colourful shells like that every day. So I'm going to take a picture of it. But I used an app here that made the sand appear dark. Some people have said, there's dark sand on Fort Lauderdale Beach. That's an app. That's called Lamora, which is a kind of a different way of taking.
Like the sun.
I love it when the sun shines on them. I think that the special light early on is really, really cool. You must have all been on a beach where it's sunset and everybody's standing there looking at the orange sky. It's like that in the mornings as well on Fort Lauderdale Beach sometimes. And I like the cloudy days. I know lots of people like to go to the beach and see beautiful sunshine, but bright blue sky isn't a great one to photograph. Here's something really cool. Seagulls. Seagulls are one of my favourite things, because seagulls are kind of got personality. And what I love about seagulls is they're very skittish. You can't get close to them. But when there's food around, they're kind of different. So what I tend to do is, if there's any food on the floor, I tend to hang out a little bit, because I know that the seagulls are going to forget about me because they want the food. So that's what's happening there. I'm actually right low down on the ground. The camera's on the sand. You can tell. And I was actually laid down on the sand by them, because I like to see the sky here. When you normally take a picture of a seagull, you're bigger than the seagull. So you're like looking down on it. So I tend to get down very, very low at the same level as the birds. Now, Oh, I don't you not like them? I know some people are a little bit iffy with seagulls because they can be quite uppity and they'll steal things. If you've got food on the beach, you'll have a seagull. They'll be our best friend. And what's really nice about seagulls, though, my favourite thing about seagulls is the way they look when they hover and when they fly. I love the shape of their wings, and I love the way that they hover around looking for food. And they make a lot of noise. But I also like to try and catch them unawares and get them flying. This guy didn't like me pinching his apple. He wasn't being aggressive, I just surprised him. But I try to take pictures of seabirds in different ways. I like them a lot, and I like the way they look in the weather. So I'll go out there when it's raining as well. I'm not bothered about that. As far as I'm concerned, that's fun. I like, that's a seagull who has got an apple, and I don't think you can quite see it. Let me see if I can play it and you can see a bit more. Yeah, but the thing is that, a seagull with an apple, he's gonna, there we go, look, it's moving. You can see what's there. I like the fact that they've got personality and they enjoy themselves. And I like the fact that they fly around looking for food all the time. But this is one of my favourite characters on the beach. This is an egret. And this is a particular egret that I got to know quite well because he turned up on Fort Lauderdale beach where, I don't know if you know that there's a patch on the beach where there are guys with fishing rods, and they go down there every morning, and you're allowed to fish on the beach till about 9 o'clock. So the guys show up early and they put their fishing rods out and they get bait fish, tiny little fish that they can lure the big fish with when they're fishing. Now this guy loves to steal. So he steals those fish. He takes them, and what's great is some of the fishermen will throw him their catch. He's not bothered, he's not fussy. But what's great was, he was there every morning for quite a long time. So I got to know this bird quite well, and he got to know me, I think. I think that's why I could get so close to him. But what was happening was I'd be very patient. You can't, if you're going to take a picture of a wild animal or a bird like this, you have to be very, very slow and very gentle with them and don't frighten them. And when they're frightened, they fly away. And that's how I got that one. Because I think he thought I got too close. And he's probably right. But that's him again with a fish. And that's a very, very windy day, and you can tell that by the feathers. So when he's cold and when the wind's blowing, he tended to sort of hunch up a bit. And I liked the way he looked when he was that. I always took the photo very, very, very low. He's not very big. Well, I'd say he's not very big. He's probably about 3 foot tall.
He has a fish.
He's got a fish. He's a good fisherman. He was very happy with that. And do you know what? He swallowed it whole. He swallowed it down and his neck got all bulgy. I have a picture of that somewhere, but I love that one because the fish is glistening. And that's the sort of thing that makes me happy in the morning because I forget about going on my exercise walk and I just think, how can I take a picture of that bird tomorrow that looks really cool? And sometimes I take black and white pictures because sometimes you can see the shapes better when it's black and white. And that's another shot of him fishing. The way he fishes is really cool. He sort of stands in a sort of odd way and moves his head from side to side. I don't know how he can see the fish, but he can. He's very, very, very quick. And what you're seeing here is his head has come back out of the water. He's made a splash with his head. But because he's so quick, I just got the last little bit of it. He's quicker than the water, as you can see. But he was a really cool character. And that sort of sums him up. What he's doing is hanging out with the fishermen and he's trying to steal fish. And some of the fishermen don't like him because he gets a bit close and he gets tangled up. But there's him fishing. I'm very pleased with that shot because you can see he's got the fishing stance. He's after something. And he's not bothered about me anymore and he's after something. And here's another great one. Now, some people say that I used some kind of Photoshop technique to get that. No, that's just the waves coming in. I've got the phone really, really close to the floor. So what's happening is the water's moving really, really quickly underneath me. And I'm stood in the water, so it's actually coming straight past me. And that's how it's blurry. And I love that. And you can see here why cloudy days are really cool. I know that you're not going to get a suntan, but you're going to get a nice picture of a bird if you're patient and gentle. And back to my nest. That's the kind of pictures that I take on the beach, and it makes me very happy. And I don't believe you know, what I also like to do is to share this stuff. So what I try to do is put these kinds of photographs up on social media. And I put them on Twitter, and I put them on Instagram, and I put them on Posterous. And Posterous is a service that you can set up from a phone. And they're like little mini websites. And if you have some photographs that you really like that you want to share with people, I definitely recommend this kind of website. There's a website called Tumblr that will set up small websites for your photographs. It's a really cool way. Because if you've got a photograph, why just keep it in a box? I don't believe in printing my stuff particularly. They look nice down in the lobby, they're up there on their nice frames there. But for the most part, I put them on the internet because I don't want to just take a photograph and keep it to myself. You know, something as nice as a sea turtle on this, I want to share that with other people that like sea turtles. And the best way to do it is to put it on the internet.
How many people do you share it with?
Well, it depends, but what's really nice is, if somebody likes something on the internet, they tell their friends. What's really cool is, it's called being viral. And what happens is, if somebody likes something, they'll say so on their Facebook page, or they'll tell their friends, and they tell their friends. And sometimes the photograph that I've taken in a morning, I can get home, and by the time I've got home, it's been seen by 300 people. And I'll have had responses from all around the world. What's really cool about this event today is I've been talking this morning via Twitter with similar, they call themselves iPhoneographers. It's not like photography, iPhoneography. And they use iPhones to take photographs. And there are some very, very good photographers around the world that do the same as me, but they take pictures of different kinds of things. There's some really cool street photographers who take pictures of people in New York streets. There are some people who take pictures of cars racing. There are some people who take pictures of their garden and take beautiful pictures of flowers. But they all know each other and talk to each other. And that's what's really cool about the internet, because you can make friends who have got the same interests that you have. If you've got an interest in boxer dogs, you can take pictures of boxer dogs and find other people doing that. And you can talk to each other about it. It's really cool. So that's what I do. I share these pictures. I don't keep them in a box. And I don't keep them on the phone. I get rid of them. Some people say, you don't take a picture. I say, give it away. You don't take it, you give it.